Alrighty, well, it looks like we have a lot of our participants online, so I would like to go ahead and welcome everyone to the second session of our three-part webinar series, Mastering the Digital Employee Experience with ControlUp. Alrighty, well, as you can see here, we have three wonderful sessions. If you missed session one, that's okay. We have it available on demand, and I will go ahead and send you an extra link to that after the session. For today, we are diving into the real-time monitoring deep dive with ControlUp here, and I'll go ahead and pass it to Douglas to introduce our presenters.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sarah. So we're really looking forward to this one. This is a sort of a hands-on. We have a couple slides for you, but we're really just gonna, so we're gonna dive into this, right? It's a master class, and we also want you to ask questions. So this is for you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to use the questions piece, the Q&A down there below. And if you want to chit chat, feel free to do that. One of my jobs for today is to monitor all that, so I will interrupt Sam, our presenter, as we go through. So today we're on session 2, real-time monitoring and deep dive with ControlUp. So Sam, can you switch it? So we have a great list of presenters today. We have myself, which is not so great, but we have Michael, which is off the charts great, and then we have Sam, our subject matter expert, who's going to dive deep in, like I said, very little PowerPoint and really just walk you through our platform and everything we do here at ControlUp and dive deep into that. So again, feel free to use the Q&A piece to ask us questions. Next slide.
Yeah, maybe you forgot about Michael, no?
Oh, he introduced me
Oh.
pretty well. Flattery will get you everywhere. Thank you, Douglas.
Yes. Well, how do I forget Michael? Michael is the man behind this whole idea, is the one that made it happen. And Michael's the CEO and founder of Froke Systems up in Canada and really all over the world. So yeah, Michael's a great guy and runs an absolutely great company that has great offerings. And Michael, do you want to say something quickly about what you guys are doing over at Froke?
Well, we cover the gamut of end user infrastructure, which is a term that Mark Templeton coined a couple of years ago that just better reflects the overall end-to-end solutions involved in what we would normally refer to as EUC, right? From the edge of the physical device, including the edge security and DEX, all the way through to the back-end infrastructure where your hypervisor and your hosts and your data centers, whether that's in cloud or on-prem. So that's what we do in a nutshell. But I'm blessed to have you both with us, and thank you so much for continuing to do this series with us. Love ControlUp. It runs our managed services and our offerings with customers or whatnot. Huge believers in the technology, so looking forward to deep diving with you both.
You bet. It's a great honor for us to be here with Michael and the great guys over at Froke Systems. So Todd Hugh and so many others. So yeah, today's a deep dive. Let's get to it. Sam, are you ready?
Yeah. I will just do like a quick agenda. I don't like that much slides, so I only have like I think 2. Let's see. We will start like a quick recap of who is ControlUp. We will kind of do some like talk about the DEX Magic Quadrant. Like Gartner released the second one like not that long ago. Just cover that. And then that will be like a deep dive ControlUp in actions, like where we started with VDI, how we went to being like the leader in the VDI space. Then we will cover like the ControlUp for desktops. That was all started by an add-on. Now it's a completely full product, and yeah, we know why. And we will show you how to use it and how we can use that. And then I will add more module that we have in the platform. One of them is synthetic monitoring. That's one that is not well known, but this can definitely help us a lot. So I will cover that during the deep dive session. And yeah, I will end it up with a new module that we just released a few months ago, which is called Workflow, that helps making automation much more simpler, having a lot of integration already in place. So that will be our journey today. Before starting, we have one question to start here, like to ask you, which is like, today we know that a lot of customers are thinking moving around VDI, not VDI, desktops. what's your current infrastructure looks like? Is it like mostly physical endpoints or VDI, overs? Yeah, please. We'll give you a few minutes to, or a few seconds to answer that that question. Just remove the quiz. Popped up. Not sure if you saw it on my screen, but how the poll is going, Doug. We start having interesting results.
I don't see the results.
I've got the results
So-
on my end.
Ah,
They're rolling in.
Sarah's
We've got 14 out of 20 who have answered, but it's looking like most of our group is in the physical endpoints with your laptops,
Yeah,
laptops
that-
and desktops.
That correlate with what we see on the field. VDI has always been like a kind of a niche market. It was an important niche market. We are like I think most of the panel has been like for the NVDI or EUC as Michael was calling it a few minutes ago. We are all coming from there, but yeah, we see a lot of people moving to physical endpoints as well. So that's a kind of reflecting what we see on the field. I will start with the and you still have time to answer if you want the poll. Who is ControlUp? So ControlUp is a DEX platform. It's a company a bit more than 14 years old. We have about 2,000 customers. We are managing. That's a huge number, 5 million seats under management. That's a nice number. But from all these numbers, they are all great. Of course, marketing people created that, so it's nice. But one number I want you to remember is the 10 million. So we every week our customer are running 10 million automated remediation every week. 10 millions. That's a lot. Like if you think 5 million seats, 10 million automation. That means that on average we run 2 automation per seat. And it will be very different from one customer to the other. But this kind of session is going to help you understand what we can automate, what are the best use cases to automate using ControlUp. But yeah, and the good thing as well is the bottom part of this with some nice logos that are customer from us for the last years. A lot of them are like old ones, like more than 6 or 7 years. So more than half of the company existence. So that's something we really like. People don't buy ControlUp for 1 year or 2 years, or they stay for a long time. So that's proof that we bring them value, and we will see that we started on VDI, but most of them are also moving also to the physical endpoints. So I said I will talk about the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So yeah, April this year, for the second time, Gartner built a report or Magic Quadrant around the DEX platforms. You all know how it works. Everyone wants to be in the leader part, like the up right part of the Magic Quadrant. That's where we are. So that's really nice for us. And but it also drive us to be even more innovative and try to get more features and bring more value to our customers. So that's about it. That you will have the slides, so you can have a look at that. That's all good. I think we have a last question, and then we will go to the deep dive. We're talking about DEX. Where are you in the DEX journey? Have you first, if you don't know what DEX is, just put not started, and I hope you will understand better what a digital employee experience means. But yeah, if you have if you can spend like few seconds to answer that question, that will also be helpful for us. And just
We are
close that
seeing
quiz.
the answers roll in, and we have quite a diverse portfolio of people joining us today. We have quite a few in the not started, and then the other one pulling ahead is actively implementing. Yeah.
Cool. Hopefully with us, but that's fine. we accept also competition. That's all good. Okay, great. So I think the next slide is yeah, nothing. So I have to do something. I'm about to build something. So let's go to the real-time console. If you think about it, we started with VDI. That's like ControlUp has been built as like by a EUC provider, like a service company like Ferox. They built a tool for themselves. Like they were troubleshooting problems on VDI, on RDSH, on terminal servers at that time. And yeah, they needed a tool to, at the very beginning, that was the main view, like the machine view, where you see kind of a, I would say, the like resource performance of each device, but connected to all your devices at one time. So being able to do the task manager thing, but across hundreds of machines, for example. And this data is coming like live. It's real time. Every 3 seconds we get new things. And yeah, we started on the VDI side, and we still lead that part on the monitoring and managing and optimizing the end user experience. Running AVD, at that time, AVD, when we started, didn't exist. We were mostly Citrix. Then Horizon came, and yeah, we kept adding more stuff. So no matter which kind of EUC platform you're leveraging, we can help you with that. And a few examples and what makes us unique in the I would say VDI world, how it's called now, or end user computing. Then we need to define what end user computing means. But for me, SBC, so server-based computing, and VDI are here, and one of the main differentiator is we collect to a lot of data sources. The first one is the host, the hypervisors. So we have no agent running on this vSphere infrastructure, but we have API calls to that VMware platform. And we do the same for Prism on AHV from Nutanix. And we have the same with Xen Server. And we have also integration with Hyper-V. So we collect.
Anything for OpenShift at all, or?
So not yet. We see, so that's the thing, like the market is changing. Like before, everyone, or mostly everyone, was running vSphere. Like that was the main thing. Then with the acquisition from Broadcom, we saw like people moving around. We have seen a lot of adoption in AHV. That's one that worked pretty well. But we are always looking to new integration. So as soon as there is API, as soon as we can collect the data and show it live, that's something we're always looking for. So we are working with our existing customers because we know them. Some of them are moving away to other platform or other hypervisor. So for sure, we are like investigating
Gotcha.
that thing.
I mentioned it largely just because OpenShift continues to come up in conversation over the last 6 months in light of everything going on. So
yeah, that's that everyone is looking for plan B. There is no clear plan B, and I think most of the people are afraid of a plan B that would be generic because everyone was doing plan A, which was VMware vSphere. So yeah, that's interesting discussion, and for sure we are looking at that market as well. So that's the first integration that we added, and the nice thing is not just like you already have, like when you buy vSphere, you get like the vCenter, and you already have a lot of data or monitoring data. The nice thing is you can click and drill down. So here I have like a problem on data store, read write, lot of or too many. I can look at back in the time, like the last 24 hours, and that demo environment doesn't change that much because that's something that is stressed all the time. But we can click there, it will list the VM and see that I have 40 VMs running on that host, on that hypervisor, and I found out which one is causing problems, and that's this VM. And if I click on the VM, what makes us unique is we can tell you which users are connected to that machine, sorry. And Obviously, this one is an easy one, but we only have one user connected. But if you have multiple, we will find which one is causing the IO for this thing. And if you look, we have like 105 processes. That's a lot to monitor. So as I'm going to click there, it will reduce that to 31, because that's the 31 processes that are running on this machine for this user or for this session. And it's not just like most of the people will think it's just the process from Steve.io. No, it's the session ID that match and make it like to be part of this session. So the process is Dynamo. The problem is there, and now, yeah, we hear like a lot of monitoring platforms. Monitoring is cool. Being able to react or do things is much better. So we think that if I scroll down a bit, I'm sorry, scroll down like this, right click there, I will have a way to run process thing. I can also look for Pokemon, for example. That's a well-known tool, and I can run the trace. I can trace the process activity with Pokemon, and we'll get the name of files that being accessed. So that's a demo. Like this demo, I was able to do it like 7 years ago when I started at ControlUp. So and that thing is still unique. We don't have any competitor that can do this kind of thing and in such an easy way. So pretty cool. Yeah, we can kill a process, but action is not just kill a process. Run a script, run an automation, and of course we can automate that and run that automatically. So that's the kind of thing we are looking at, and yeah, that's what makes us unique. Another one where we were the first one to do, and others started to do it as well. We starting during the time of lockdown, where everyone was working from home, more or less with more or less success. That kind of thing was were key, and it's still still interesting to know that yeah, you have like some latency, and which is okay, but you may want to, and you start to see like some latency on the local gateway, which is not good. And here you have like the name or like the percentage
A
of the
support team's favorite thing is remote users and not having visibility into the last mile, right?
yeah.
What's going
And
on after
yeah,
it leaves the data center to the user's computer, you've got zero visibility on. You don't know the
yeah.
network quality usually. You don't know how much bandwidth they have. You don't know if their kids or their spouse is running Netflix while you're trying to run your call.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. So
I,
this
I
visibility is super
yeah.
critical.
Yeah, that's critical. And we had like this exact question, and like one of our customer came back after like a support ticket created by one of their users. That was kind of cool because they came to us and say, "Wow, you guys saved so much time to one of our engineer today." And like the user like called support, and they were looking for the user activity. So the user called support and say, basically, I can't work. This morning was okay. This afternoon, like I can't work. So the support help desk just say, okay, I'm going to look for you. He found all the sessions. He found which session we were talking about, and then clicked there. And he found out that with the historical data, and here it's going to be tricky. Yeah, I only have like the session was disconnected most of the time. That's fine. He saw like in the morning 90% of Wi-Fi signal and a drop to 40 or 30 at 2 p.m. And like the help desk guy said, "Did you change anything?" And of course, the answer from any user would be, "No, I didn't change anything." But he said, "I see your Wi-Fi coverage is not the same that this." I said, "Oh yeah, but like this morning I was working from my home office. There is a bit of sun outside, so I'm on my terrace." And I'm not saying that the ControlUp said that the guy moved and like we found out that he was not inside his house, but the data shown and have been made the guy at support ask the right question. Did you move
Exactly.
in your house? And that's without this ability, without this data, it will not have asked this question. So that's a good help. And since then, for this customer, as soon as a user is connecting to a Wi-Fi that is not like the corporate Wi-Fi name, so if the SSID is not corporate, then if the Wi-Fi drop below 40%, boom, we send a notification to the user and
Oh,
say,
wow.
can you please try to be closer to your access point? And what we do as well, if the Wi-Fi is corporate, then you don't ask the people to move. Like if his desk is there, like that's the place. So we send a survey to the end user saying, hey, in which floor you are, like which building, which desk number. And then and that happened at a customer where after a week you get like a lot of response and all the problems are coming from the same floor, same building. They say, oh, maybe I should put more access point. So that's the kind of like how we use the data and how automation can help. So that's where we are coming from. Like VDI, we started with that, and like a bit less than 5 years ago, we acquired a company. It was called Avasi, and it covers like the desktops, because we start seeing people giving laptops to their end user as the main device. And it came as well during COVID. A lot of people were given laptops and they faced the exact same problem, like Wi-Fi not working, like the kids playing Fortnite and using all the bandwidth. So it was exactly the same.
You can
So
honestly make the argument that deploying the endpoints in that manner may have made some situations worse, because now you're running all those fat client applications on the endpoint versus running it maybe in a VDI, for example. I mean, there's always going to be a mix of different work styles or whatnot, but in that specific example, I mean, sometimes just dealing with managing the remoting protocol versus
and
one or two
even
dozen
if
applications competing for bandwidth.
Yeah. And one thing that is important as well, if you look like when we are getting old, when we started VDI, or it was not VDI at that time, everything was like centralized. Everything was running on premises, on the data center. And then people start to say, okay, like we need to offload, at that time it was Flash, that's old, but yeah, Teams optimization. So meaning that even if you're running a VDI session, we still have stuff running on the device. So having visibility on that device, and that's what I'm going to show now. And that's what brings us to the next topic, which is the ControlUp for desktops. This device that can be like Linux, Mac OS, but if you look, we have as well, I think, thin client like Agile that are there. So having a way to monitor the device more like in a more accurate manner is important as well. So and yeah,
100%.
we have more and more things going. If you select to give only a laptop and no VDI session, everything will be on your laptop. So you need to keep control on to know what's happening on that device. But even with VDI, the endpoints start to be more and more important. So that's what we do. I like this view, that graph, and I can also use a one with a bit more devices. If I switch to that tenant, I like that graph because I want to know, for example, where my users are suffering from Wi-Fi signal. You see that like here in India, looks like the Wi-Fi is not that good. And if I zoom into the US, yeah, looks like Colorado, Denver is not that great. And like I have one device that is not good, and this one, like, and I can drill down and I can view all my devices, and I can see that the Wi-Fi completely changed, and that's the same. Like it was good all the morning, and now it dropped. So I can get more details. So that machine, Rio Del Mar, so if I want, I can unzoom. And that's actually an interesting topic. We are near San Jose, from what I can see. And that one is coming from the ISP. So that means that the user or the IT selected to not use the real location of the device, because we can be super accurate with the GPS that is included on all devices, or we can just use the ISP with the public IP. So, and you see that machine was very good Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi name was my Wi-Fi, and then super good. And like the last few points, like looks like something changed. And I guess like if I look, it's who is it? Who is it? Who is it? The end user, Michael T. Michael may have a bad user experience. And you see, we have a deck score, and the deck score like shows a drop, like it was 10, now it's 9. So and we can refresh, and there was like here you see the interesting peak. So usually for a few seconds the machine is 100% CPU. If you look, that's Falcon, so it's CrowdStrike, Zoom. You have the name of the processes that are consuming resources. So as we do for VDI, we can collect all this kind of data on the desktop side. So pretty cool, very powerful, and again, being able to track that using a script. If you need more information, so you see like I have like Intune information. I have
with the right level of automation and learning or whatnot, this does really allow an organization to be more proactive in their approach to DEX and infrastructure monitoring and endpoint monitoring. So before we get away from us, I know you want to move into something else, but I do want to ask this. Can ControlUp detect microbursts in network latency and packet loss, or is it just limited to averages over a time span?
So that's a very good question. The idea is to not collect only averages, because averages, like we had a very good example of a customer. They had like CPU CPU peaks, and it was like 100% for 20, 30 seconds and 0 for the rest of the time. And it was like hopping 0, 100, 0, 100. And the average was 50. And 50% is not that bad. But half of the time, the user could not work. And the reason why we figure out that the process was like managing all the data, was waiting for the network to send more data, so no CPU usage, and then moving away. As soon as he had data, he could start like hitting the CPU again. So that's the kind of thing. And if you look here, like every minute we have a data point. And if we want to see the latency, for example, you see that the latency is a per minute data point. We even have like a trace route to know which part of the traffic was impacted. And you have like you go like quickly go out of the house. Looks like this is like the hotspot, and then we go direct to Comcast. So it looks like that guy is using Comcast as a ISP, and then we have to Google, and that's the 888. But we can configure that. We even have now a tool called Network Monitor that is going to be added, where we will have latency for all processes. So per process, per destination, latency is coming as well in the product. So yeah, we are like not only gathering, I would say, averages.
Cool.
Okay, so there is a topic that I like, and I was at an event, at an Nigel event earlier in Miami this year, and Mark Templeton said something, and like usually it's quite like is rarely wrong when he says something, and he said something that resonated to me. Was like, the browser is the new OS. And the reason he said that is, yeah, many applications are moving to a SaaS web-based, and we have that as well. And if you look, like most of the time, you will see processes, and if you look, we will have Chrome everywhere and a lot of processes and CPU and memory. But what is behind Chrome? That's a big question. And like we added something which is called ControlUp for apps, and you define, or you have to you define the website you want to track, and as soon as you add it in there, you will get a score for each of them. So if you look,
pretty much focus on the key apps that folks are using to run the business or whatnot, so we can start baseline performance, I guess.
Yeah, a line of business applications. And if I look at, for example, I like Salesforce.
It's just web apps, or is it fact line apps as well for ControlUp apps?
As of now, that thing is just web apps, and the reason why, and I will explain how it works a bit, because we are in a deep dive. The thing is, we are using a browser extension to collect that data. And if you look, that's purely webs and SaaS apps that are there. So you see that the time to first byte, is there. So the average is like less than half a second. That's half a second, and it's slower than before. that hour is slower than the hour before. Or I can look at the last 4 hours and see that in fact we are a bit better than 4 hours before. So it's always good to compare, to look like how it goes, and if you have incident page load time, you can see which user had problems, which kind of errors they had. So it's a complete view of the user experience at the web application part.
And
And
this is only
on
going to
this,
become increasingly more important. I mean, as the landscape's changing and the VDI usage still seems to be increasing per Gartner, but there's a lot of customers that are looking at how can we optimize our spend.
yeah,
Because frankly,
yeah,
whether on-prem or in cloud, VDI has a price associated with it, and it's usually the compute that comes out on top. So you see more customers that are examining other ways, either ZTNA or enterprise browsers, to be delivering web apps in a secure manner.
yeah, and a lot of customers are using like proxies, for example. Zscaler is a good example. We have lots of customers using them. And the problem is that it's concentrate all your traffic, all your web apps, and like being able to monitor that an application works well via the VPN or via the proxy, like the Zscaler proxy, and found out that it's not, like the problem is only when you're accessing outside that, for example, or the opposite. Sometimes it happens. That's key. So identify, like the goal is to identify as fast as possible the problems. And we had like a very interesting use case at the customer. So the customer was looking like at ControlUp. He just started a POC, and he had a big outage on his HR platform. So online very well-known SaaS apps to manage HR. The entire platform was not available for 4 hours. And the result of that was, yeah, like people try to book their time off, and they could not. So they opened a support ticket. That customer was paying per ticket to his outsource support. 8,000 people called support on that day just to say the HR platform is not working. While first they were
Interesting
already
business
aware.
model.
Yeah, and it's critical for them. So what we did with them is we created an automation that say if there is more than X, and we define X to 50 for that customer, if there is more than 50 errors, and an error can be a 500, a 400, whatever, then we are not going to fix this platform because it's a SaaS-based product, but we are going to alert any single user that used that platform for the last 30 days and send them a message saying, we know that there is a problem actually on that. And we also did an automation that update the status page on the intranet. So the idea is to also communicate when something is wrong, and not just to IT, because we were used to be more like a monitoring solution where it was just sending alerts, and usually to an SMS number, and you were on call and you get trying to fix that. Sometimes, like nowadays, most of the applications are not on your control anymore. You're using Office 365, and you're using Salesforce, and you're using Monday, and all these web apps. You can't do anything if it's not working. You just have to wait, log a ticket, but being able to push to the end user, we know that something is happening on that website. That's critical, and that helped to reduce the load of supports and like make them focus on the real other problem. So that's the kind of thing we can do with automation. Another thing we do a lot is we started to have custom dashboards on that data. And if you look at the dashboard we have, I like one. That's a very nice one. So it's going to be, that feature is going to be released in 7 days. So it's I think that's the first time we present it online. So that's a first. So that's the AI report, and it's kind of fun because that's official ControlUp data. That's our own tenant. So we have like 300 users that are using that. We have on the whole of 351 devices or users. On top of that, like 89 are using AI apps, and 68 are
Yeah,
using
that's
websites.
something we want to get visibility on. I think, and a lot of custom companies do through whatever means they
Yeah,
can, right? Just
yeah,
to be tracking
and
where users are going, what they're doing. It's becoming
yeah,
a very hot
and
topic.
how much time my users are spending with ChatGPT. And
Yeah.
the funny thing, if you look like that thing, if I scrolling down, we'll see like this one is Gemini, this one is ChatGPT. The
Personally,
official,
I love seeing those numbers go up as long
yeah,
as it's a sanctioned AI app. Like
yeah,
Microsoft is full on using developed a KPI for their own people that tracks how much they're using AI, right? That's one, as long as it's sanctioned.
yeah. And the cool thing is, if you look at ControlUp, that's a small, like we are 400, that's a small company. The official AI tool for ControlUp is Gemini. But in the reality, like on the field,
Mhm.
most usage is going to ChatGPT. So it was nice to see that helped to say, okay, maybe we need to buy a Teams membership for ChatGPT, because most of the users are using it. So, and we can control that it better. So that helped. And if you see like in that time frame, these users use like 12, and it looks like Douglas Brown that is here is using AI a lot. Good job, Doug. But yeah, that's the kind of thing we can correlate, and that's data that can be very helpful for end users monitoring. Doug, you're not talking. You're still there.
I am here. I'm enjoying the
All good.
conversation. You know,
Great,
I'm
great.
not. I'm trying to
Speechless for
get out
being
of the
called out
way.
in his AI use.
Yeah, yes.
Well,
He's still speechless.
Oh crap! I
Speechless.
gotta
I,
That's
it's no.
anyway.
Does it know if you're using it, or is it just open? Because I don't think I
No,
use it that much, but I do keep it open.
so it's the last 7 days, so it's not that much, but yeah, it's being active. That's the app that is that has the focus on your device, and yeah, that's your part of the top ones. Good job. Uh, that's what I wanted to tell, and we can spend hours and hours on what we do on desktops. But I wanted to highlight like few features that are less known that I think makes also a lot of sense. So if we look at that thing, the first thing I wanted to share with you was synthetic monitoring. So synthetic monitoring is like people will call it a bot, a probe. That's something that is doing like every few minutes something for you. And we have all kind of types. I want today to focus on application. That's, I think, the most important one.
And this used to be called Scout Bees, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was used to be called Scout Bees. You will still see Scout Bees maybe in few screens, but I want to focus on that one. I look at
We've had a number of
application.
enterprise customers over the years that started onboarding to synthetic monitoring just to be that canary in the coal mine in critical environments where, call centers or whatnot, and deploying agents there and synthetic agents to can get an idea of challenges, whether it's outright failures to be able to log in and launch the application or just abnormal load times or latency with the application. So support can be alerted before users start calling in, right? So it's
This kind of thing, for example, 7 seconds goes to 26 and then go back to 7. So
yeah.
there was something, and you see the failure rate going crazy here. So, and
Yeah.
this one is cool. That's a EMR system. So from a hospital, it's open EMR. That's a public website. And what I want to show you what a success is. A success is 7 seconds, and we go through a portal. We go to that. We put the username, the password. We look for like the calendar. We arrive there, etc., etc. So multiple actions, click, type keystrokes, and all that stuff. And it worked well. So 7 seconds is good time. And if you look at the failure would be like I
It's
would like to
pretty
see
much doubling. Yeah.
30 seconds, and it's timeout on step number 6. So we set the password, and then it stayed on loading for 26 seconds. So there's something wrong. And I really like that kind of interaction because if you think about it, like your user are going to sleep at one point of the day, so usually in the night actually, but like your infrastructure needs to be available. And we helped the customer, and that was great feedback. He said, we received an alert at 4 a.m. No one is connecting to our infrastructure at 4 a.m., but we received an alert. We looked and we found out that was MFA involved, and the SMS from Microsoft were not arriving anymore. And that was a global problem, but at 8:30, they decided to say, okay, we have few users. We really want them to work, to be able to work. And this specific user, we had like authorization from the CISO to remove MFA for them. So they just reconfigure that app for the specific user. They don't need MFA for that application, and they could work. And the cool thing is, I would not say removing MFA is a good thing. That's not what I'm saying.
Nor is using
But
SMS, but anyways, this is that's an aside.
yeah, that's also, we can do TOTP, for example, which is a bit better. But and we can test TOTP as well. So that's fine. And the good thing is, like, being able, like at 4 a.m., you can, like, support can start to work. Normal way from this customer, he said the normal way would have been wait for rush hour. Everyone tried to connect and everyone called support. And support explode.
At 30 seconds there, that's a significant impact. You start scaling that out based on the number of users acting, and that's serious money and serious time wasted.
Exactly. And you don't want to be in a place, and this one is even better, 30 milliseconds. I guess we all had that. Like, the website is completely broken. So anyone that will try to connect, and we had an interesting discussion with a car rental company. They really don't want that, especially in the e-commerce. Like they said, if this happened, I'm company A, people just logged off and go to company B and rent their car there.
That's totally amateur.
Yeah, completely. So that's synthetic monitoring. I really think it's a good complement to real user monitoring. So it's included in the ControlUp license when you are in advanced. So check this out. That's really cool. We can do as well, and that's as we come from VDI, we can of course do something around that as well. So I can show that if I look at
what's the
EXE,
relationship between scouts and hives?
That's a good question. A scout is a test. So it's a test definition, actually. So you say a scout is, I'm going to test my AVD session, and a hive is the location from where you're going to do the test. So the hive is basically the probe location.
Gotcha.
And you have two types of hives. The first one is we have, I think, 12 one that are configured across the globe, and we are managing them for you. And they are SaaS based, so it's all good. We are taking care of like maintenance, upgrades, all that stuff. Or you can say, okay, I want to test from my network remote location. I have a HQ somewhere in Florida. I want to test from Florida. And you can just deploy a Windows machine that will act as a hive. And that's what you have here. Like, you have like a lot of machines. See that these ones we have done a very poor job at upgrading them. That not a single one is up to date. That's bad, but we will work on that. And some are not connected, but you see that you have that. And the nice thing is, you can, when you start trying like Citrix with MFA, we have full success. So it looks like Citrix on this service account worked all the time. So that's pretty cool. If I look at another one, let's try to find one. Let's put more than 24 hours. Let's put 5 days. We will have, I guess, an error. Yeah, wonderful. This one. So let's see a failure. Should be one. No? Here we are. And we even have the screenshot. Why it failed.
That's also useful.
Yeah, you have like everything. And at 2 p.m., you may have user connected, but again, at 2 a.m., that's another story. So and that one, it was from North Virginia. So yeah, pretty interesting and very, very nice. By the way, just to let you know, we had a French customer. I know them very well because, as you may have heard from my accent, I'm French. But that customer was having like a team in the morning. There are 2 people coming at 7 a.m. just to check out that the Citrix session could be launched. And the reason why it was like a retail bank network. So they had like every bank was opening, like every agency was opening at 9. They were coming at 7, try a few desktops, session open, check, fill a document saying I tested it, boom, done. And guess what? If it start to fail at 8:30, they already tried and like no one could connect because there was a problem appearing at 8:30. So we replaced that, health checked, that as they call it, like manual health check by like one that is run every 5 minutes. And as soon as it stops working, you get a notification, you get a ServiceNow ticket, you get anything that you need to start working on the problem as soon as it appears. So that helped them to be more proactive. That was synthetic monitoring. I said I'm going to talk about workflow. So workflow is a very new module. We see it as a low-code, no-code automation platform. And how it behave, and you see that I have like a lot of flows, which one run, which one fail, etc., etc. So if I look at the data, we are going to start with the integration. So integrations are there to help you doing stuff, and you can do things, and I can create an integration with a lot of tools like ControlUp for VDI, ControlUp for desktop, ControlUp for synthetic monitoring, and Dell and Gmail, and we have Jams that is more and more used when you have like Apple devices. We can do AVD, we can do Excel, like pretty much everything. And if you need something more, we can do like we can create that integration for you. That's we added fresh work a few weeks ago because a customer was requiring it. So, and as soon as you do that, you can create flows. So I'm going to create a new one. And the flows are pretty easy. There is a start, like that's the beginning, I would say. And you have 4 types. Like the first one is scheduled, like every 5 minutes, every 5 days, every whatever. You have the API, so meaning that we are going to listen to any API calls with a workflow, a flow ID, and it will start as soon as it's triggered. So that can be helpful. For instance, we are using that from customer using ServiceNow. ServiceNow is calling our workflow to start something. So that helps to create flows.
Do you have any examples of that? I mean, the workflows that obviously one of the unique capabilities that ControlUp has had since they started was the automations you could do and the self-healing or whatnot, which no other vendor on the market really has to that extent. But how is workflow different, and where were actual real-world examples of where it could be used?
So let me give you like an example from a customer. They had 2,000 requests in ServiceNow per year for a new laptop. They have a service request in ServiceNow, and it's an easy one. A user go to ServiceNow and say, I want a new laptop. My laptop is not performing well. And it, like on average, on the last 5 years, they had like 2,000 times someone asking for a new laptop. The way it was like handled before, they would look at the device, they would look at ticket open, they would look at few things, but not really anything nice. If I look at one template, and I will leave that one and discard this one,
There's some manual standards that someone had to manually go ahead and look at or whatnot to validate whether their request was valid.
So what we did for them, we switched that to API. ServiceNow, instead of creating only the ticket, was calling that API. He lists the device for this user, and he called ControlUp for desktop to get the last 30 days of performance of the device, meaning, and the performance can be CPU, memory, disk, IO, whatever. Then let's say it's Dell, we call Dell to get the
Grabbing the
warranty of the
warranty as
device,
well. Okay.
gathering the detail, when it was shipped, when it was like ordered, all that stuff. And we haven't trained an AI model to look at the data for you. And you send all of this data to this AI trained model, and it will reply back, this machine should be replaced, or this machine should be
Or-
kept.
Exactly. There's some other issue going on that doesn't necessitate replacing the laptop.
Yeah. And the crazy thing, like people, like we ending finding like people were asking for a new laptop, and the device was still under warranty, but the battery health, like the battery was not charging anymore. So the good answer was more,
yeah.
replace the battery. If you like, obviously, if you
don't
can't,
necessarily the laptop, just replace the battery.
yeah. And it's still under warranty, so it's free. It's included in your warranty. So
Depends on the warranty, but nonetheless, it's a lot cheaper to replace a battery, worst case, than an
yeah,
entire laptop. So.
exactly. and that thing helped. For this customer, it was like on demand from user. But what we saw as well is a lot of customers are like refreshing their laptop every 3 or 4 years.
Mhm.
Like, for some use cases, a laptop for 5 years still good enough. So
Yeah.
having that kind of reflection where and we have a lot of things going on with like CO2 emission and like carbon
And
footprint, all
sustainability,
these
and
things.
there may be some
Like
use cases might be able to switch over to a thin client, which further just extends it beyond that.
exactly as well. And like we have like things where we can give you a very good information about this machine is still good enough. And the next step into that will be, this machine is not good enough for this user, but would be good
Yes.
enough for this
Refactor
user.
it, put it back in inventory for use case B versus use
Yeah,
case A. Yeah. So you're
exactly. And
optimizing
like
your real estate.
creating personas and like this kind of thing, that's definitely what we want to do and what we are working on. So that's the kind of thing coming in the next few months. But I
This
want to show
honestly
you.
was probably, I wasn't expecting such a good example. That's a fantastic example.
Yeah.
That a lot of customers could leverage that type of thing. It's because it's mundane work, right? That you're doing manually.
Mhm.
That speeds up decision making quite a bit.
And I want to show you another example. Like that's also a real one. I already started to talk about it. That's where we detect the error in one of the platform or one of the websites. So we look at the name of the SaaS app. We look for the last 5 minutes. We look at every 5 minutes. And if there is more than 10 problems or errors, then we do this and that and that. And doing that is just sending a message to all users, because that's a HR platform and everyone is using it. Or you can even filter down and say, I just want to alert the people who use that product for the last 20 days. And that's the kind of thing. And this one was to just send via an API query an update to their status page. And this one was the ServiceNow ticket that we wanted to create. So that's the kind of thing we do with workflow. And again, it's the cool thing, and we have like this one that remove the apps that are not authorized. So more like you can do complex
Moving
things like that.
unauthorized apps, that's useful.
That can be useful, and that's also something cool. And we complement the toolbox of the IT organization. So that's a new tool in your toolbox that you can use. And think about offboarding of users. Like as soon as the device, like we had an interesting one where as soon as the account is disabled on an Active Directory, automatically we disable the local login on the device. We can unallocate the AVD resources. We can do a lot of things automatically. So that's the kind of thing we are able to do with workflow.
Sure.
And I could be speaking like for the next 2 hours. Obviously, I will not cover everything during like a 1 hour thing. We have an extra hour within the next weeks. where we will dig out on the scripting part and the automation part, where we will go into the workflows as well. I want to go back to the slides because I think we have that, and I think Doug, you're going to talk a bit.
Well, I tried to stay out of the way. That was absolutely wonderful. I love the conversation back and forth, and yeah, you guys are just, that was absolutely brilliant. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. Like Sam said, we're going to be coming in about a month with the scripting and the automation deep dive, and I'm really looking forward to that one. But to continue your learning, if you're new, get started, of course, head over to ControlUp Academy. We have a great knowledge base that's just been updated recently. You can actually sign up to have updates come to you directly via your email. Our support pages have just been updated too. Did you see that, Sam? It's just a completely new website. Yeah.
Yeah, they are looks like they are working. We are doing
Yeah.
webinars, they are working. That's cool.
Exactly. And of course, the status page. So if there's something weird, if you think that's, it's like you're not able to log in, check the status page. But to me, most importantly, the ControlUp community. So it's a place for you, the techie, those interested in learning more, asking questions. Sam's in there. You can just DM, or not DM. Do not do that. But you could write in a message. Hey, Sam, what do you think of this? Or hey, guys, what do you think of this? Right. And it's a great place to learn and stay updated, and get on the front end of the wave, as I like to
And
say.
it's just
So
not Sam and Doug, it's also all the PMs out there. So
correct.
it's very nice. We have customers, partners, and ControlUp. That's like amazing. Like the thing you created, Doug. So cool stuff.
Yeah, and most importantly, as you've seen the brilliance of Michael for the past hour, if you really have some questions, you want someone to hold your hand and help you, reach out to Michael and his folks. The folks over at Froke Systems. They're one of the best around, so they'll be able to really be that. That, I hate that word, trusted advisor to help you. To help you with all this and more. So that's it. I think I loved it. If you guys have any, we're out of time. We'll try to save some more.
We got
If you
2
do
minutes.
have,
We got 2 minutes.
do we?
We have a
Okay. If you
question.
have any,
Yeah.
if you have any questions, please share them. If not, if you think of something later, go to the ControlUp community, or hello@frokesystems.com, and yeah, we'll be happy to help you.
Well, we wait for a question or two to come in from the audience. I've got one. ControlUp monitors unified communications tools,
Yeah.
Zoom and Teams or whatnot. How does ControlUp collect the call quality stats?
So they are like two ways. Like most of the people or most of the solution are only using Graph API for Teams and Zoom API for Zoom. So that's what we use as well. But our agent, as we have the agent running on the device, is also collecting like per minute data point. So meaning that Microsoft is providing you, if you have a call that stays for 2 hours, you will get like an average value for everything for the entire 2 hours. We are providing you like 120 points, like 1 per minute, where you will see the quality going up and down, hopefully
That's superior
going
to
up.
Microsoft's.
But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Cool.
Perfect. Sam, I have one for you. The Enrich, the Intune integration, is that only Intune, or do we work with other solutions?
That's one thing I completely forgot to show. So that's a
Yeah,
great
the
question.
Enrich is it is a great question, and Enrich is powerful. People love
Enrich
seeing
is it's a tool we use to add data into over console. So if you guys are using Intunes or Jamf or any web or SaaS apps using a browser, we are able to see, you see, like that's the device. If I'm going to Windows devices and I filter down to a specific machine, I will have like this thing coming up, and you see that I have 2 machines that are popping up, and that will be this one. So Paul B is there, and I have this machine, the CPU, the memory. I can do anything, actions, remote shell, remote shadow, and it works on any web apps when you're using your browser. As soon as we can find the machine name, we will be able to grab that. And one thing that is kind of interesting, if you have any remote control solution in place, we can replace that and just do remote control on there. And it's another story for the next session, I guess.
The product's really huge, right? It's not just it's not just VDI anymore, right? We have really, this whole platform. It's tough to go through it in an hour and dive deep. So Sam, Michael, thank you so much for doing this. Sarah, thank you also. And of course, thanks for everyone for joining us. I hope you'll attend in a month and we'll dive deep into scripting and automations, which I really look forward to. So on that note,
Thank you all so
Sam,
much.
anything else?
Merci
Sarah?
beaucoup. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Great day.
Cheers.
Bye.